Again, we're talking about three things. One is turbo-based, which is our roster. That's how we actually keep your name, your address, all of your contact information. The second is WordPress, which we use for an e-zine or blog, and I'll explain that a little bit later. And the third thing we use is the southcountytoastmasters.org. That's our main website. That's sort of a database. It's like an encyclopedia of everything of South County Toastmasters. We've got a lot of information out there that you can use. So let's talk about turbobase.com, because this is probably where I get most of the questions, and people will say, Tom, I changed my phone number. Can you do it for me? Can you do? Well, you can actually do this yourself. If you just go to turbobase.com, and Bill, did we get the lights?
Yes, we did, Tom.
Yeah. And you click on there's a little login button right up at the top. If you click on that, it will take you to this screen. And at the top, you'll see there's an email address, and that's where you put in your email address, and there's a password, and that's always the clicker. People forget their passwords. And if you go down at the bottom, you'll see it says, generate a new password. So if you've forgotten your password, if you put it someplace that you'll never forget, but you forgot, you know how that is, it'll send you a new password in your email. Again, you just need to put in your email address and your password, and you'll get into TurboBase. Now, usually, here's what you usually do is just go to members. This is probably what you're going to do most of the time. And you go to list active members. You want to see who in the club is active. We've got 43 active people right now. We've got 9 inactive. And what you can do is you can modify, you can change your own personal information. Howard can change his. Carl can change his, Steve can change his. You can't change other people's information, but you can change your own. And when you click on the Modify button, you'll get a screen something like this, and it'll give you the name and your contact information. I mean, I just changed some stuff for Matt or for Max, and so, again, this is all things you can do. Down at the bottom, make sure there's a little Modify the member. Make sure you click that little Modify, or the changes are not going to be kept. So, that's how you can keep track of your address, your phone numbers. If you go back to the previous screen, one of the nice things they have is send an email to members. And this is maybe abused a little bit sometimes, but if you need to send an email to everybody who is active in the club, click on that button. Again, you notice up at the top it'll say all active members of the club. Make sure that's clicked. If you don't click that, it's not going to send it to hardly anybody. You put in your subject line, you put in your message, and at the bottom you send the email, and TurboBase is really nice because it will send out an email to everyone, all of the active members in the club. Not the inactive, but the active members. So, I mean, it's a great way to keep our contact database up to date. So, any questions on TurboBase? Yeah.
I'm trying to get the address of somebody else the other day, and I wasn't pushing the right button, I guess.
This is another limitation of TurboBase. I cannot see Howard's address. Howard can't see Judy's address. We don't. That's just one of the limitations we have. It's not good, but if you want it, you're almost going to have to call somebody.
That's what I end up doing.
Yeah.
You mean their email address or their physical address?
No, physical address. Yeah.
Is there a way that you could list the members, but just select the ones you want? Like when I'm a Toastmaster and I just want to select those people.
I wish they could do that too.
Okay.
I've talked to this guy a number of times, and he has not taken any of my suggestions. This is the guy who's doing this for free. Yeah, Bill?
Tom, I forget where it is, but I think you can email just the people in the meeting as opposed to all the club members. In fact, I'm sure you can.
You know what? That's true. Here's the other website which we use sort of as an e-zine or a blog, and that's the South County Toastmasters.wordpress.com. And I use this sort of as a way to, I put the schedule on here, I've got the regular meeting minutes, and if you can look at all the little side categories on the side, we have all sorts of information. We have speeches, we have table topics, we've got vocal variety. These are all the things that have happened sort of locally. You know, and rather than bog down the regular website with all that, this is sort of everything that's happening in the last month or two that you can look at.
How do you get that up, Tom?
Well, you can either go, I'm going to show you a couple of ways. You can go to southcountytoastmasters.wordpress.org. I'm going to show you a second way, which is going to be a lot easier. But I mean, if you look back, I clicked on, if you look at competent leader, this is actually an article that Barb wrote about being a competent leader and what the requirements are, and it also has a link about that for anyone who's interested in being a competent leader. It's got a little sort of database, a little spreadsheet thing which she made, fantastic information. Now here's the answer to Howard's question, because it's a pain to type all of that stuff out. If you look on the screen, you'll see a little arrow again, and you'll see it's something that says subscribe to SCTM blog. Wouldn't it be nice if you had all of that information just sent to your computer automatically and not as an e-zine? Well, if you click on that link, you can see a little description there that says subscribe to this feed using, in this case, I use my Yahoo. Whatever you start your Internet Explorer, or you use Firefox, however you start your computer and you get on the Internet, usually you have a web page that you start on. Usually that web page allows you to put what they call, these are called RSS feeds, really simple syndication or something, real simple syndication, something like that. It allows you to create a little newspaper every day to see all of the different things that you're interested in. I'm interested in travel because my wife's retiring. I'm interested in Toastmasters, so I put that on there. I'm interested in some of the things in technology news. So this is a real easy way. If you just click on that link, go there once, click on that link, and it'll allow you to automatically see that every single day when you start up your browser. And it's a really neat way to do that. It's also a nice way for inactive people to keep track of what's going on in the club. Questions about the e-zine? Okay, so right now I'm taking applications to be an e-zine editor. And in fact, this is so easy. And you know how technophobe Brent Stewart is. Brent Stewart is even using WordPress for his Kiwanis website. And if Brent can do that, anybody can do it. So again, if you're working on your competent leader and you need to be part of that web team, I can certainly show you. It'll probably take 15 minutes at the most, maybe less than that. Brent actually came over. It's an easy thing to do. If you can type, if you can cut and paste, if you maybe even put a picture in, you could be the e-zine editor, and I'm more than willing to share that with people. It's really easy to do. Now, the last thing we have is southcountytoastmasters.org. This is probably where we get most of our members. When people are visiting, they find our website, they find out the information, and they come to South County Toastmasters. Probably the main focus that you as members want to look at is this thing called Member Resources. You click on Member Resources. It has all sorts of information. It has meeting forums, Rich was looking for, what comes next in the beginning of the meeting? Well, we have a form for that. We have a meeting format for the Toastmaster and General Evaluator. We have new member information. If you're a brand new member and you need information about an icebreaker, we've got it there. We've even got the club manual, and we've got the Constitution and bylaws. Underneath that, we have guest information, because we got a lot of guests. I always try to point them toward that information just to find out more about the club. We have contests. Again, the humorous speech contest is coming up. We have all sorts of ballots, lots of information on the different contests that we have. Again, these are all links. All you got to do is click on the link, take a look at it. Miscellaneous context form, and of course the dreaded camera information links. Again, we've got a video. If you watch TV, if you look at a video, you can watch and see the instructions how the camera is actually used. It's not an easy camera to use, I know that, but if you could look at the video a couple times, we've got that, we've got documents. And below that, we have sort of miscellaneous. One of the things I like to point out, especially to new people, is I've got my Scared Speechless book out there. It's on PDF format. It's free. Download it. It's like 40 different ways to get your butterflies flying information. We have a lot of other neat articles about canned speeches and parliamentary procedures. And the last thing we have is officer duties. If you're thinking about being an officer and you want to find out what it entails, take a look at that. Click on the link. If you are an officer and you haven't looked at the book, or you don't have the book, look at this. This is a PDF format. It's got all of that information.